This video is a tour of the Harvest Tasks page on the Tracer Server portal. You'll notice that I'm using our Proving Ground branded portal. Yours might look a little bit different depending on the settings that are used for your organization. And later in the video, we'll show you how to start a task because you do that from this Harvest Task page. So here you can see in this left-hand menu, we're selected on the Harvest Task page. It has my user information up top, and then there are some other links below. And on the page itself, we have this server status box up here and a task box down below. The task box is going to show you a log of every task that's gone through and whether or not it's completed or failed. If I progress forward through our list here, we might find some that have failed. So here's an example of some of those tasks that have failed. And from this page, you can drop down on any of these and see the details of the file and the document tags that are used and the document name and the database that are all being used for this particular harvest. You'll also be able to see the Revit version and the other data that are associated with the file. This spinning arrow button, if I select this, it is the Restart Job button. And what that does is it pulls up the harvest window where you can type in the settings for your harvest. And rather than having to retype in everything that you had for that model previously, it preloads that information back in. If for some reason you open up that Restart Job page and it isn't already pre-filled, you will want to just refresh the page and then reselect Restart Job, and that information should then come up. If it doesn't, give us a shout and we will investigate and see why that page might not be working or responding properly. So from here, this is a good segue into how to harvest a job. So to do that, you will select this plus sign, and it opens up this page again where you can select your database. You can type in, so in this case it's the Revit sample file, and you can type in a project number, and we've already done the architectural one, so let's do the structural one now. We're using a minimal preset. Later videos will show you how to use these presets and create your own. And then you have the option to either upload a Revit model, and to do that you would select the Revit version and then click on that attachment button, the paperclip, and select your model from your Windows browser, or you can connect to a BIM 360 model. And then you can select Start. And I did not select the file, so that would be an important one to make sure that you do, otherwise it doesn't know what to process. Then you can select Start. And this will take a minute to load and come up, and then it will start to show you here that it is running. What it's doing is opening that virtual machine in the background. You can see the details here. It's starting the launcher, and in the log stream up above, if we pull this up, now we can see all of the individual actions and timestamps for those actions as it's running. So it says it's starting the launcher here. Again, the detail here is starting the launcher. This log stream is a good way for you to monitor the harvest and see if there's anything that is potentially throwing an error, or make other diagnoses for anything that might be going wrong with a harvest. So these harvests will take a few minutes to process. Sometimes it could be 10 minutes, sometimes it could be longer. It depends mostly on the content of the model that are being harvested. So that could be a combination of what's actually in your Revit model and the presets that you're using. In this case, we're using that minimal preset, so it should be fairly quick. But this is just going to process, and then once it has finished processing, you'll see this message. This is from the previous task where it says task complete. And down here in the log, you'll see that the task has been marked as complete. And so now all of those data points exist in this production database.